You know that feeling, right? You're in a meeting, you have this spark of a great idea, and then it just kind of fizzles out in the stale conference room air. Yeah, we've all been there. Well, there's a reason that happens, but more importantly, there's a solution. Today, we're going to break down something called design thinking. It's this amazing process for turning those boring business as usual meetings into real powerhouses for innovation. Okay, so to really get why design thinking is so powerful, let's start by looking at the problem. I mean, let's picture the kind of environment it's meant to totally replace. Think of it as a tale of two rooms, the typical meeting room versus an idea room. Okay, that room on the left, we've all been there. It's where creativity goes to die, right? It's basically a space for reporting, not for actually creating anything new. Information just flows one way and everyone's just passively listening. But the room on the right? That's totally different. It's alive. It's all about active collaboration. Every single voice gets seen and every idea becomes like a Lego brick you can build with. I mean, the difference is night and day, isn't it? One of these rooms is basically just waiting around, hoping innovation might happen to show up. The other one, it's built to make it happen. And that fundamental difference in energy and just, engagement, that's exactly why we need a better, more deliberate way of doing things. All right, so we've seen the problem. Now let's really get into the solution. It's all about learning to think like a designer. So, what is this thing, really? At its heart, design thinking is an actual process. And look, I know it might sound like just another trendy buzzword, but trust me, it's a proven, solid method for coming up with new ideas. And the secret sauce? It isn't some magical lightning bolt of creativity. It's all about where you start. And this right here is the absolute key. It's the whole game. Instead of starting with questions like, hey, what can we build? Or what's going to make us money? Design thinking makes you ask a totally different question first. What do people actually need? See that? It's a huge shift from being business first to being human first. And that is what opens the door to innovations that actually matter. Okay, so human-centered sounds great in theory, but how do you do it? How does it work in the real world? Well, it turns out there's a super clear 5-step process that acts like a roadmap. And this is what I love about it. This whole powerful way of thinking, this method for unlocking amazing new ideas, it all boils down to just 5 steps. That's it. 5. It's this incredibly focused path that takes you from, I have no idea what to do, all the way to, aha, that's it. So let's walk through them really quick. First up, you empathize. This means you really, truly try to understand your users, what they feel, what they need, what drives them crazy. From there, once you have that deep understanding, you define the real problem you need to solve. Not the surface level stuff, but the core issue. Then, and only then, do you ideate. This is the fun part, brainstorming tons of solutions, no bad ideas allowed. After that, you build a quick and dirty prototype. It could be a sketch, a model, anything to make your idea feel real. And finally, you test it. You put that prototype in front of real people, get their feedback, and start the whole learning cycle over again. And this quote just nails it, doesn't it? It captures the absolute foundation of this whole thing. It always, always comes back to that very first step, empathy. I mean, think about it. You can't possibly design a great solution if you don't even understand the human problem you're trying to solve. In fact, rushing past this first step, that's probably the #1 reason why new ideas and products fail. Period. So we have the 5 steps, right? The framework is there. But what does it actually look like when a team is doing it? How do you get that buzzing, collaborative energy we saw in that picture at the start? Well, the actual how is surprisingly simple. You break into small groups, maybe 7 or 8 people. Each group gets its own big board. And here's the magic ingredient, Post-it notes. Every single observation, every idea, no matter how wild, gets written on a Post-it and stuck on the board. This super simple act does 2 incredibly important things. First, it makes sure every single voice in the room is heard, not just the loudest person. And second, it turns the board from something you just look at into like a shared brain for the whole team. And that's where the magic really happens. The whole process is designed to pull ideas out of everyone's individual heads and put them out there in a shared space where everyone can see them. And once all those thoughts are out in the open, the group can suddenly see patterns and connect the dots in ways they never could have before. You're literally building on each other's ideas, moving from a bunch of separate thoughts to a truly shared vision. So, there you have it. We've talked about the why behind design thinking and the how of making it work.
We've seen the 5-step framework and the simple tools you need. Really, the only thing left is for you to put it into action. So I want to leave you with a question, a little challenge. Think about something in your own life. Maybe it's a frustrating app on your phone, a process at work that makes no sense, or even a small problem in your neighborhood. Now, instead of just getting annoyed by it, ask yourself this: what would my very first step be if I decided to tackle this by thinking like a designer?